And now joining us in the studio with more on the Israeli preparations for conflict, we have Brigadier General Ram Shmueli, the former head of Israeli Air Force Intelligence. Brigadier General, thank you so much for coming in again. It's a pleasure to have you. But first of all, my question, I guess, is, what can you tell us about this drill that we probably don't already know?
First of all, I have two personal insights. Mm-hmm. I remember as a squadron commander when those drills happen once in a couple of months, this is the most intensive training, actually almost like a war, even though it is not a war. So I remember those times. And another insight, last night I was sleeping in Mount Carmel, my village, and it was hell of a noise, all the helicopters and the airplanes above me. So yes, it's a very interesting drill this week, especially because it confronts the two fronts war. We have to be ready. We are not looking for a war, but we have to be ready to manage a war both in the north and in the south. So this is the big issue of this drill. And the second thing is, like you said, the F-35 and the other challenges that we have when we have the S-300 getting inside Syria. So we have to be very ready for the next round, even though we don't want it to be. But this drill with the ground forces and with the Israeli Air Force, this was kind of a real preparation just in case. And
do you think, I want to actually get back to the F-35s in a little bit, but do you think that the IDF was successful in this drill in that, do you think that they've proven that they're prepared for such an event, or is more training needed?
Of course, training, you need to train, but the issue is that in Israel, unlike the US, that most of our audience are listening to us, when there is a war, the front and the place, the people of the country are mixed in and out. So you don't know where is the front. Of course, the front is on the line, on the border, but we have to be ready also to manage the population, what to do. So it's very important to make more and more drills in order to be ready.
All right, so and do you expect that any conflict, like a future conflict with Hezbollah, do you think that will pretty much, will it be more likely isolated to the north, or is it very likely to be coordinated with an attack in the south?
The drill was clearly dealing with both fronts. This is the issue, this is the challenge. Of course, the front in the north, since they have much more rockets, they have much more accurate rockets, they have much more air defense, it's the major front. So it mostly was dealing with the northern front, but you have to be very realistic that the southern front will be getting fire as soon as it happens. Sometimes it started in the south, and then the war slewing to the north, like it happened in Lebanon II war, when it was kind of a kidnap in the south, Gilad Shalit, and then there was a war after 3 weeks.
All right, now going back to the F-35s, we mentioned and you confirmed that this was pretty much the first time the F-35s were used in a drill like this, and I think Israel is the only country to have used it operationally, which I think was just once in Syria. What is special? What's unique about the F-35s in Israel's squadron that Israel was not capable of doing before?
Since the S-300 here or the S-400 in Iran have much more longer range, when you have the F-35, which is considered as non-seen on the radar screen, it's another way to attack those batteries before they recognize any kind of target. So this is one of the capability of the F-35. Of course, it have much more capabilities, and I'm not going to say everything about the F-35, but yes, this kind of capability of the F-35s bring more opportunities to the Israeli Air Force to execute its missions.
And what maybe, do you think is the most, specifically speaking, what do you think is the biggest challenge facing Israel in the northern front or in the southern front, or, with this drill? What was maybe the biggest challenge for the IDF?
As I said, the major challenge is in the north. So there will be a lot of rockets. There will be a lot of rockets that are accurate. So now you have to deal with, first of all, how you absorb them or intercept them in the Israeli territory. but most important, to take an attack in the enemy territory in order to eliminate their capability to do it. But more than that, we have to think what is the real strategic objective of the war. We can't afford ourselves to finish this war with the Hezbollah capability like they have today. So as long as there is no war, okay. But once it started the war, I believe that we have to do something much more to the territory of Lebanon. It's not only Air Force war. It is a combination of ground war and Air Force war in order to eliminate those capabilities which are unacceptable as for now.
And, do you think that there's a realistic political or diplomatic solution to maybe, calm down the tensions, at least in the northern border? Because I know in the southern border that's another matter, but at least in the northern border, there are talks with Lebanon about maybe trying to get Hezbollah to back off.
I don't believe. I hope that it will be some. I must tell that the sanction on Iran make a lot of problem to Hezbollah because there is lack of money. So voluntarily they are not going to give up. But those sanctions and our capability and the balance of threat, I believe maybe it will prevent any war. But if there is a war, they will be surprised by our capabilities not only in the air, but also to conquer a land in Lebanon.
Brigadier General Ram Shmueli, thank you so much for coming in.